Hey guys, how are you? I am here. I wanted to tell you about my day. For those that's on Facebook, you probably was following just a few pictures that I was popping out there. Um, so I had to go to the doctor yesterday, and I was, of course, having one of my episodes with my headache, and it had been going on for a couple of days, so like a week. And I was just like, I need to go, not to my neurologist, but go to a different doctor because I'm tired of the same, oh, it's okay, and just keep giving me meds or whatever. Anyway, off of that. But when I was going, there's a lady who really is interested into Kingston, and I had the baby's daycare. So I decided I would take Kingston since I had to pick the baby up after my appointment. And so, I wrapped him up and stuff and put him in the car seat and everything. And then just not thinking about, I got to go to the doctor's office. What would I do at Kingston? I was like, oh, crap. I didn't bring like a tote or anything. So I was like, I'm going to have to take him in there. I didn't want to do it because it's a huge like doctor center. And I'm just like, oh gosh. So I figured he looked real enough that I just wrap him, swaddle him up really good, and just hold him, close. And people know that most people don't want you around their newborns, so maybe people just, and keep going. Well, that kind of pretty much worked. But me, being me, I can't stand like deceiving people or stuff like that. So the ladies at the register, not the register, the counter at the check-in desk just kept going on and on about him, and oh, he got a head full of hair and he's so cute. And then of course I was okay with that until they asked me how old he is, and then it's kind of like, okay, now you're gonna lie. You're gonna have to lie or you're gonna have to tell the truth. So of course I said, he's not real. The lady said, so the first lady, I said, I just don't want a lot of attention brought to me, but I couldn't leave him in the car. He's expensive, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't leave him in the car, da, da, da. So she was like, oh, okay. She's like, oh my gosh, and she's looking at him and everything or whatever. And so the other lady said, I know you just didn't say what I thought you said. Ma'am, didn't I just? The lady said, she don't want everybody to know. She's like, he's not real. Really? I could have just knocked that heifer off that doggone chair. So here come another nosy little wench coming over there. I think I heard you say that baby ain't real. Let me see him. Okay, before you know it, I'm a freak show. Not alone. I don't feel good. My head's hurting, and I'm just kind of like. So, I deal with it as much as I could, and I had to sit down, and I'm just like holding my head, like, hurry up and call me to the back. But it was okay, but it was just that I was like, ladies, keep quiet. I didn't want everybody. There was an older lady walk by, and she said, it's not real. She just started shaking her head. She probably said, Lord have mercy. That baby's crazy. But I don't know what she was thinking, but she was just shaking her head, and she just went on about her business. But so I'm sitting in the doctor's room. Of course, the lady that has to take my weight and everything, she was like, oh shoot, I guess I gotta hold him. She was excited about that. She was like, I guess I gotta hold him while you get on the scale. Oh, when she held him, let me show you how she held him. She said she held him this close to her like that. And I was just like, okay, now you're a little too close with my baby, but she was holding him so perfectly, and it was just so funny. And then one of the ladies asked me, why do I hold him? Oh, it was the lady at the daycare. She had just had a baby, and she asked me why was I, if he was a doll, why was I holding him so real like? So I said, okay, I'm gonna hand him to you, and then you tell me if you can hold him any other way. So I carefully placed Kingston into her arms, and she held him the same way as the other lady, and even like, you know, like this and stuff. And I'm like, can you hold him in there? Because she said, oh, no, 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 no. She said, this is a baby. And then I was telling her, don't drop her iPhone when she was handing him back to me. She said, no, don't you drop the baby. So it was cute. But anyway, so I'm sitting in the doctor's room, and I'm sitting in there, and they're taking a long time, you know. And so I'm like, So I've unwrapped Kingston. First, I sat him on the bed, and I was like, oh, I take a picture. Then I'm like, oh, I'll get a good video in here or something. But then I was scared that they would walk in. So what I did was, so then I took him and I laid him in the bed. You'll see pictures after this video, after this. So I laid him in the bed, and I said, I'm gonna lay him up there till the doctor come in. I said, this bed's probably gonna think I'm crazy, but you know what? Oh well. And I wish that, you know, I could have recorded, but you know, we're in a doctor's office. There's a lot of privacy going on there. I can't do that. I couldn't turn the recorder on, you know, patients too much, you know, I couldn't. So and of course, if I'm going to do a reaction, I don't have time to say, hey, can I record your reaction? So I didn't get that. But anyway, so I lay him on the bed, and he's like, when the doctor does walk in, he's like, oh my gosh, he's like, you got such a beautiful baby boy. He's like, he's gorgeous. I said, so he said, what did he say? How old is he? No, he said, that's a beautiful baby. He said, is it a boy? He said, it's a boy, right? And I said, no, it's a doll. And he said, it's a doll. And then he went and he looked at him. He said, wow. Whoever made him did a great job. He said they got all the little, you know, spots in the right places and stuff. And he was like, the Mongolian marks is like perfect. He was like, wow. So, you know, he kept looking at him, but then he, you know, of course, then direction got to me, and so they put me on some new meds, and so I'll probably not be able to go in today because they kind of got me a little loopy and stuff. Like when I stand up, I feel a little loopy, and I drive so far, like to work. I don't want to take that risk. Still, you know, I don't take medicine often, so when I get something new, it makes me like jittery and stuff like I'm not really jittery, but you know, anyway, it makes you feel different. I need to know what it's gonna do to me before I drive almost nearly out of town and get stuck to work and not feeling well. So I'm gonna take this day off, get myself together, and I'll go back to work. You know, a lot of times we work and we take care of everybody else, and we don't take care of ourselves. And that's my problem. I put everybody first, work first, kids first, family first, friends first. And I never take care of me. So I got to take care of me, because if I'm dead and gone, nobody's going to be able to take care of my kids. And yeah, and the job is just going to replace me in like a week. And it'll be the end of that. So I'm just going to take care of me. But anyway, I thought I would share that story with you guys. And yeah, so I couldn't get the video up yesterday, of course, because I took the first dose of medicine and I was relaxed and slept, which is a good thing. Another thing happened when I got to the daycare. The daycare owner, her niece was there, and she was like, oh, that baby got a head full of hair, blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, he gonna be a little chocolate, little handsome fella. So I let her hold him. They're working at daycare. They're, you know, clean hands or whatever. So I let her hold him. She's holding Kingston, cuddling him, talking about how he gonna be a handsome little boy and how much hair he got and how beautiful his hair. She's like, oh my God, and he's got a mixture of brown hair, and she's just going on and on. So her aunt says, is he moving? And she was like, I don't know. And then the other one said, is he breathing? And she was like, she said, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? And she started trying to hand him back to me. She was like, Here. She's like, what? Yeah, what's wrong with him? And oh my God, because first she said, I thought she knew that he wasn't real at first because she said, oh, he looks like a little cabbage patch or something or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, okay, she related it to a doll, so I thought she, knew. I thought they told her when she came in, and then, she made that comment, but I didn't realize that the whole time she's holding him that she really didn't know until they started really trying to scare her. And then she said, oh my God, is this baby dead? And she's like, what's going on? And they told her, it was like, it's a doll. And she just, oh my God, she laughed so hard, but she was just like, but it was so funny. But I didn't do that to her. Her mom and her aunt did it to her. Or her, no, they were both her aunts. Um, they did it to her. And it was funny though. But I wish I could have gotten on camera, because her little cousin is around the same age as her. They got to be around 20, 21. And she was laughing at her. She was laughing because she knew what it was, and she was cracking up. Like, and the grandmother was cracking up. We were all just cracking up, but it was pretty good, and it kind of relaxed me a little bit to have that little outlet for the end of the day, because I'd been sick all day. So anyway, that is that. I'm gonna go ahead and end this so that I could be able to clip on the pictures and the scene of him at the hospital and how he was in the doctor's bed. So we will see you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye bye. At first I thought I'd just like take a picture, and then I was like, oh, let him get a little comfortable. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put him here and lay him like on the bed. And so it just went from, okay, now I'm just gonna lay him here and just let the doctor walk in and see him laying. So I had him laying like this in there when the doctor walked in. So that was it. See you guys later.